In this episode of Clubhouse Chronicles, we will be visiting the Ladies of Darkness room while they are having a candid conversation on the topic of black women. Why do you feel unprotected?
Ooh, ooh.
I was just about to ask the same question. Should
What?
men?
Why we
I
have
ain't
to go
got no
there?
ring and I'm
This
protected.
this why I think it's a good question, because is it the responsibility of all men to protect, all the women as a collective, or is it really just on you to have a partner that protects you in 2024? We can't really expect the type of village mentality these days. We talk about how individualistic everybody is. So what's the solution? Is it really because we're not, you know what I'm saying? Because you as a woman aren't protected because you don't have a man? Is that really the issue? It's a collective issue.
That's
Well,
crazy. I
no,
mean,
because
I
at
like
that
that
point
question.
you need to just
Collective
be protected by
issue,
your
but I'm
daddy
I'm gonna let the
or your
young women
brother.
answer that. It's a collective issue, though. You know,
I'll tell you what I've seen personally. Like I have personally approached young ladies and I've seen it a couple of times where it might be a young lady and she dressed so cute and she's sitting on the curb and I'm like, damn, let me go up to this young sister and see what's going on here. Like, is she okay? Is she stranded? What's going on? So I've had a few times I go up to a young sister and I'm like, okay, what's going on, sis? Are you okay? You need to ride somewhere. And it's always I'm waiting on I'm waiting on my boyfriend to pick me up from the bus stop, that type of shit. And it's like you shouldn't even be out here without, you got to be protected. You can't be out here walking in the street and you dressed all, that's dangerous. Like, where is this nigga at? Like, I don't know. I be seeing shit to me, and it's just like the men and the young ladies don't know what to expect or what kind of standard to hold them to. And to me, it puts them in dangerous situations. And I don't know. I know, young ladies, maybe the men can't get cars. They don't have cars yet. Y'all are young or whatever. But somebody got to have a car. Y'all can't be out there just, walking. Like, that shit is dangerous. I don't know. Just when I see the shit out here with the young ladies, I feel like the men, I don't care if that's your wife. If you going to take this woman out on a date, if you going to see her somewhere, you need to see her from where she is leaving from safely to where the fuck y'all going to. She should not be nowhere, looking stranded. Like, that's crazy. That's, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, just do a better job, young men. Protect your young ladies.
Mm. And you know what? With that, yo, mama, I'm a slide this clip in. Cause I don't know. They leader, the men leaders, they good brother Kevin Samuels, they president. He begs to differ. So I'm gonna jump in here, play this quick clip of what Kevin had to say to y'all. He said, some of y'all don't deserve to be protected. I had to whisper that because I don't agree with it. So I'm gonna jump in, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all this quick clip and then we gonna dialogue this out because there's just some questions on the table. Now let's hear what the leader of the black men, Kevin, had to say to y'all.
you in the matrix.
you got started over, Jazz.
Wait, did y'all say? Oh, y'all said Matrix. Hold on, one second, one second, one second. Let me do this the other way. This clip going for y'all. 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
You good. And while you getting that up, Gigi, why did you say that you feel like it was a collective issue? Would love to hear your thoughts.
Because first of all, I'm married, right? And second of all, you're not gonna be with your husband at all times and stuff like that. And I'm a Southern woman, so I believe that men should show chivalry. You know what I'm saying? Towards the black female and stuff like that because we want to feel they're one of us. We supposed to be able to look at each other often our eyes and say, "Yeah, I'm alright." You know, the head nod. Yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get it.
Saying it should be
You
like
know,
like a
I got to.
code, like a code, like we should be on code as a collective.
Yes, that's it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay, but this is my thing, right? So what if you got a man that's like, look, I got a wife at home. I got a child that's maybe fighting some type of chronic illness in the hospital. I don't have time to be helping you out with this man trying to talk to you and you dressing all skimpy, right? You walked out the house with booty shorts, right? You got this man harassing you. I got a wife to go home to. She at the hospital with my child on life support, right? Is it his responsibility personally, individually, to help this woman that pretty much put herself in a predicament where she's, being approached by reckless men? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really thinking about it in a 2024 perspective. This is the perspective that a lot of people are coming from individually. Jazz, I know you're still getting the clips ready. You can chime in and cut us off whenever you want, but I just.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here real quick, y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and just, give it to y'all real raw, right? Um, I think y'all should be able to hear it now, but I think again, it's gonna bridge the conversation. Some of y'all might be a little upset at the end. But let me go ahead and get this going for y'all, and y'all should be able to hear it this way now. But the funny thing is, women who look like you and show your reflection are losing because you're the most unmarried, unprotected out here by yourselves. White, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and Asian women are married. They got families, extended families, natural networks to do business, to deal with, to pass on wealth, more opportunities. We got individuals. Okay, and you're saying that we're the most unprotected, disrespected, etc. I said, or whatever what you just said. As a result, that's why a lot of women are the way that they are. That's why you're unprotected because you choose to be. They're not unprotected because the men don't want. No, ma'am. Excuse me. You're not unprotected because men don't want. No, excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. No. 80% of divorces are filed by women. You're unprotected because you leave your relationships. Men can't make women stay. What power does a black man have over a black woman to make her do anything? So if you choose, how long do you watch my content? A couple months now. Go back and watch video after video and listen to all the women talk about how they were married. And you ask who filed for divorce. They, me, why? I wasn't happy. Most of the time, ma'am, just divorces. Look at the divorce filings. You can do your own research. Go in your state and look at irreconcilable differences. You can go look at it yourself. How is a single woman supposed to be protected and provided for in a world? What is a woman's baseline provision of protection in a society? Can you repeat the question? A female, a woman, in any society, is an individual woman's baseline protection. A man. Thank you. When you're a young woman, your father and the men of your family. But when you're an adult woman, it's supposed to be your man. How many of our women are standing without a man by choice? That's why. So that's why I asked my question, ladies, because he said your single ass can't be protected. That's what he said. I don't shoot me. That's what Kevin said. Kevin said these Hispanic women is out here married. These white women is out here married. And look at y'all. 80% of women, black, let's just stick to the black, are filing for divorces. So how do you expect to be protected when you file a divorce? When you file a divorce from your protector? But again, I'm opening back up to the ladies. I see so many people in the goo. I see a few pink tickets. Y'all go ahead and cash them tickets in. Y'all just join the house. We're gonna bring this to y'all, bring this content to y'all. But ladies, how did y'all feel about that clip? Was there some validity, or did we completely go against what Kevin said? How y'all feel about that topic?
Hey, how y'all doing? Not totally going against it, but I don't agree. What good is it to stay in a situation where you're unhappy? And just being married doesn't mean that your husband isn't an abuser, which would make you unhappy, which would make you file for divorce, which makes sense. Now, protection doesn't just have to come from the husband. There's the uncles and the brothers and the nephews and the cousins. And if the father leaves the home when the children are young, they're unprotected. So getting married can help if the father stays around to be the provider and the protector. But protection doesn't just have to come from him. We need to be safe in our environments, regardless of where we are. If I'm walking down the street, like somebody was saying, there was a girl on the street, or if I'm in the grocery store and someone decides that they should attack me for any reason, make a phone call, whatever, then any black man in my vicinity should be at least looking to see if I'm okay. I don't care what he got going on. He should be at least looking. And maybe he got to call somebody. But somewhere along this line, and it may be that part when we decided that we were going to try to join forces with feminism, and, we went there for Color Girls. But that doesn't mean that the men get to stop their duties. I don't even care if he's gay. That means he still has to do his duties. And we're letting them slide. And by saying, oh, I don't need no man, I don't know why you don't. Even if you're gay, men still have a very instrumental part in our lives. And yet we're not holding them to the standard that we want to find them at. We're not even helping them grow there because we're protecting our sons like they're gods. I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm saying we're treating them like they're little entities that need to just be spoiled while raising our daughters to be warriors. And it's crazy and backward. Okay, I got to think some more.
Let me say this real quick, like just for food for thought, ladies. Okay. Before I married my husband, I was allowed to date around. And when I was dating around, let me tell you something, I've run into some bullshit. And I've actually had to call my boyfriend on my boyfriend. Listen, before I married him, I actually had to call him and say, listen, this nigga's tripping. This ain't going, this plan gotta get the fuck out of here. Listen. So listen, the men will try some bullshit. Listen, yes, they will. But as women, like as from what I've seen is a lot of this bullshit happens from these men that's trying to claim themselves as being with women or calling the women their girlfriend or whatever. It's a lot of wolves out there that don't have any good intentions for the women. And so this is why women have to have their own shit. Like my granny taught me to always have my own shit. Make sure that I always have, if in case something goes crazy, I have a way to protect my child and to be safe no matter what. Always have your own shit, be safe so you don't have to be stuck in a bullshit situation. Because I see a lot of the shit happens basically at the hands of the very men that's supposed to be protecting the women. So I think that the women need to, again, work on yourselves, keep your distance. You get what I'm saying? And then really take your time. Take your time. Let the nigga get frustrated. Yep, I'm studying the Bible today. I'm not doing no type of, don't even talk to me like that. You go crazy, cut the nigga off. Oh no, actually I'm gonna be spending today with my grandma and my mother. I actually like to spend time with my family. Nigga go crazy, cut the nigga off. all that bullshit. Like, don't put up with no bullshit. When you find a nigga that's not causing no bullshit, that's the nigga. Period. And don't put up with shit else from none of them because it's not worth being, putting up with it. You're not doing nothing but inviting bullshit and destruction into your life. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm mute up.
Let me just get this right. We listening to a man that had a fair relationship, single, was seen laying in another man laying in his bed while he was doing a podcast. Okay, he's a deadbeat dad. Ain't no men on the stage. He sounds like he need a couch his goddamn self. you know. But I notice people listening to this cat, man. See, I mean, you'll vote for anything that sit up there and talk shit about another woman and stuff like that. The best you can do is call women ugly, fat, and you bow your head down and you need to go dig a hole and drop in it, motherfucker. But you listen to a man whose daughter got online and said, "How come you never came to see me?" Yeah, right. Fuck that dude.
I mean, but I will say, Gigi, he makes. I'm sorry, it hurt me to even say it like this. He makes a point. God damn it. Okay, I just got to pull the band-aid off.
You don't gotta feel bad as
Cause
facts,
look,
Jazz. It's
cause I think about it like this, right? The point that he made about, yeah, at a younger age, and going into like adulthood, right? Your father and your brothers are typically who protects you, right? But when you get married, they do what? They pass you off. They give you away to that man to be that protector. So if you gonna go divorce him, well, how the hell, you know, like especially like at a certain age, your father is like 80, 90 years old. He can't be coming to save you at the grocery store. He can't be coming to save you when you being harassed at the gas station. So I mean, although we can say Kevin Samuels is not the person we should be listening to, I don't know, Gigi. He made a good little point. 'Cause I'm just saying, being single, when you're single, you gotta call around, find somebody to come pull up and help you with the situation. When you with your man, oh, you with your man, it's already taken care of. I mean, you don't even gotta raise a finger. Your man gonna do it. So I don't know, ladies.
A
I don't know.
I
broken
don't know.
clock
I
So I
haven't
want
is
to
been in
say
a
no
this
relationship
right
broken
with no man,
clock.
so I don't
A
know,
broken
honey.
clock is right
Depends.
at least twice a day,
twice a day,
Jasmine. Come on.
but I want to say this right here. So my dad taught me how to be a man, along with protecting me. Right, he taught me how to be a nigga. I got my PhD in niggerology. Right, so anybody my height, if I can look you dead in your eye, nigga, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Okay, my husband, I married him because I couldn't beat him, and I tried his ass. I wrestle his ass down, and I could never win. Right, I play hard. Right, so I know how to protect myself very well from a nigga. I wish a motherfucker would. Okay, I ain't no little bitch, and if I was a little bitch, my attitude still be it. I wish a motherfucker would. We rolling
Crystal,
today,
did
bitch.
you see that clip when this woman was walking down the street from uh uh she was heading to a car and this man snuck up behind and threw the belt around her neck and dragged her between the car and took her purse and shit. You ain't
No,
safe.
I ain't seen that, but one, I'm thinking using my mind. You got that belt around my neck. My hands are still the motherfucker free, and I'm not grabbing that belt, nigga. Your balls is all the way exposed. I'm finna kick you backwards in your motherfucking stomach and your balls. What
He
I'm kicking
drugged her
beans.
backwards
I'm
and
gouging.
he was
I'm
the
choking her.
doing.
fuck?
Where did y'all
I'm
see
looking
this
for
at?
his
What's
face with
happened?
these nails.
The fuck?
You can
Before I
always
go
tell.
down, what I
Tell
ain't
y'all they ain't
going
got no nails,
down. I don't
Crystal.
give a fuck.
Crystal, you could always tell when a lady ain't got no nails because you grabbed me with that damn belt from behind, and I got some long, pretty, natural, hard motherfuckers. And if and I break one, it's stuck in your ass. It's gonna hurt. And I damn sure
Exactly.
taking bark off with me. So them eyes, if you wanna see after grabbing me, bitch, I promise you, you better make sure you're choking me super hard. Like it only happened once in life. Another motherfucker could never. I promise you never. I know to go straight for the goddamn eyes now. Just gouge them hoes right on up out of there. Yeah, ladies, let me tell you right there. A motherfucker grab you from behind. I know it hurt. I know you're choking. I know your instinct is to grab the thing that's choking you. But I promise you, the minute you get that moment of clarity on if you want to live or die, gouge that some bitch eyes out. Gouge his motherfucking
Uh
eyes
huh.
out.
And
He
I
can't
say
see you.
this right here: if a motherfucker is pulling, look, get your mind together. When they come around your damn neck, get yourself together and spin around.
My
Don't let
daddy and
them grab you
uncle.
from the back. You turn it when you see that shit coming over your face. The fuck, turn
Now,
around, bitch.
Crystal, you think these
Hold on,
ladies
wait a minute.
out here
They
My
spinning
ain't. They
around to
ain't
get out
tough.
there?
They
Child.
ain't
Hold a
tough.
minute. My daddy and uncle taught me to always keep a fucking knife on you. Always keep
Exactly.
a
Got a
knife on you.
switchblade. I'm gonna
Yep,
stab
and
your ass
always
to death.
make sure it's sharp.
Hey,
You get what
hit
I'm
the
saying?
inside of them thighs. That motherfucker might not make it. It's a big ass vein in the inside of them thighs. Motherfucker get hit one good time in the wrong spot in that thigh, his ass is out of here. He gonna bleed out too fast.
Okay,
He
but
Yeah,
sure
y'all
ladies,
gonna learn
is.
about running up on women. Is this too many of you grown ass men who
Did
out of
anyone
control?
ever
And I ain't talking
people?
about the people in this room, but I promise you, it's a whole bunch of grown ass men that's OC, and you can't tell me they not, because women ain't out here scared, beat up, raped, and all that other shit for nothing. That means some niggas is out here niggardly, and the next niggardly nigga to get out of tap that nigga with that blade in his leg and the inner thigh. See if that motherfucker play again.
Yeah, I didn't actually had to
Put
Okay,
that
so you
motherfucker
walking
in his
around with a
ass.
knife in
before.
your
It's
hand,
The
listen,
huh?
fuck?
Y'all
So now
motherfuckers
you got to walk
just
around with a knife in your hand, right?
y'all
you're
So
somebody
supposed
we
to keep
really
one in your
unprotected, right?
pocket or in your pocketbook. Keep one in your pocket or your pocketbook, or at least keep you a
He
little
took
22.
her pocketbook, yo, mama. That's what I'm saying.
But that's
I
when
saw
she
the
pulled the
clip in
blade out.
club. I saw the clip right in here in this room. Not in this room, but in the other room. That's a part of TDT. Yeah, I saw the clip.
Can I speak up for the ladies who don't fight?
Yes, please. Oh my God.
amen.
Cause I fight
So
men.
I
I ain't
love
ever
you
fought a
Y'all
ladies.
girl, but I
better
fight a
fight.
man.
I'm gonna make y'all
Look,
fight. I'm gonna pull out Harriet's gun. Y'all better fucking.
so I love you ladies that are strong warriors, Amazonian women. But there are some of us who are more lovers than fighters. And this is why I am so adamant about the fact that men should protect women, especially black men protecting black women, right? So I grew up, I'm Gen X, so I grew up in a time when you protected people just because they were black. You saw somebody being attacked, you didn't turn your back, you didn't turn on the phone and record it, you didn't say, that's not my wife, that's not my sister. You did something, even if that something was yelling or whatever the case may be. And I think it's sad that nowadays men will actually turn their back or they will take out their phone and record when they see a woman being attacked. Now, I know good and well all these men out here are not freaking psychologists where they can just look at a woman and tell what kind of woman she is and say, oh, she doesn't deserve protection. That's some bullshit. That's an excuse. And I think there are some men, especially old school dudes, that will still protect women. But I think some of these younger dudes, I think it's soft. I think that there has been this softening of men to the point that now they're in their 20s and 30s and they don't know what the fuck to do. They're scared, just like the women are scared,
Definitely.
right? And so
Black
they're not doing
women
anything.
raise black men.
So am I in the matrix or is
No,
that
she's in
her?
it.
In the Matrix, man.
Miss
Oh,
Williams.
okay.
Yeah, Miss
But
Williams,
I
you're in the
think,
matrix, but you got it. You got it. You got it, bunny.
yeah, I think a lot of men are not protecting women because they're afraid. They're afraid that, like when I grew up in DC. Everybody knew at some point you're going to have to fight. Everybody knew that. And it's
Thanks.
not always scrapping on the street. Sometimes fight just means scaring somebody off, right? Or kicking or whatever the case you may be. But you knew you were not going to live a life, your entire life, and never get your fucking knuckles bruised. We knew this. And I think a lot of guys nowadays, they're afraid to get their knuckles bruised. They're afraid to get a scratch on their legs. And so they rather see women go through bullshit than to do something. I don't care if you're doing something is yelling and screaming, call the police, do something. But these guys out here won't do it. But anyway, my point is there are a lot of us that are tough and can take care of our own. But then there are others of us that depend on our fucking community to do what you're a part of the community. That shit ain't free. You're a part of the community. You got to help people. You got to protect people. I would protect a dude. I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to call the police or yell or scream or something. And it saddens me that they wouldn't do the same for me. So that's all I wanted to say.
They don't want to die just like we don't want to die. That's why we got to be willing to cut a motherfucker. You got to keep the knife. You
Well,
got to be
let
willing to
me
cut
say
one.
this, sis, because I'm with you there. I'm in Florida now, and I tend to tell you this: this concealed carry on my waist, which is with me at all times, that's my protection now. But when when I was coming up and living in up north, we didn't have that, so we depended on each other. But I'm with you there. You got to carry something because you can't walk around not in 2024 thinking that men are just going to protect you.
Thank
What
No,
about
you.
walking
That's what I
around?
was just saying. Go ahead.
no, no. Go ahead, love.
What
Go ahead,
about,
love.
let me just say this. What about walking around with a friend or a cousin or another female? Like some countries, they tell you never leave the home alone because you are subject to being attacked if you're alone. And they go by that. So everywhere a woman goes, she goes with somebody. We don't practice that.
Right. And I agree. I feel like we are practicing each and every way to um what you can get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like I said earlier, the girl putting the booty shorts on, going out to a store, late at night at the gas station, full of men, putting yourself in all of these crazy positions and predicaments under the guise of just like this independence, and I'm all right. I can do what the guys do, and I can do what I want to do because it's my body, my choice, it's my right. I can go where I want to go, and this sense of equality with men, right, allows them to have a mindset to place themselves in sometimes very harmful predicaments. And I think that that could escalate, right? The degree of how much now black men are being pressured to save black women when it's like y'all are making these autonomous decisions that's actually putting yourself in more dangerous positions than women would have done in, say, you know, past generations. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to bring out that, but I agree with what you.
I
I
just
think
want to touch back on the clip that Jazz played, where it's just like there's some validity to what he was stating, but in those talking points, there's always like this willful ignorance because we think about protection in the outside world, but the comparison is the stealer of joy. When we look at other cultures and we prioritize marriage, but we don't prioritize like family and functional marriage. And I know within us or within our community, we've lost the art of that village mindset and somewhat family, right? But when you take it outside and you compare yourself to what's going on, you're looking at, oh, these other cultures protect their women. They're marrying off their children at 12. These women are married, but they're getting their ass beat in the household. They're married, but these men are preditizing the children that they help create, and all of these things in between. They're honor killing their daughters because she took her hijab off at school or whatever, and all those things. And so it's like, we're talking about protection, but when a lot of people speak about it, there's that willful ignorance to ignore what's really happening in some of these other cultures and what's going on in these other communities when they want to compare us to that. Like, these people are yeah, what's the point in you going to go shoot somebody outside for speaking to me a certain type of way when we're going home and you're going to beat my ass when I get there? Like, who's going to protect me from you? So, yeah, I get it. Marriage is important. Marriage is a big thing, but what are we pushing? We're not pushing family anymore. We're not pushing positive marriages. We're not putting marriages where we all benefit. Like, you're supporting and honoring a man that's honoring and supporting you and his family. We're just pushing our women off to these men who are predators sometimes. And it's very valid to get married to a predator. You know how many women are married and unhappy? So it's comes down to what you're willing to deal with. There's a lot of women married, unhappily married. So marriage is not always the end all be all. There's someone out here unwed that are more protected than the women that are within marriages. Just saying.
That's true. That's true. Because you know what I'm saying? I hear that a lot in our community. We always push marriage and all this and that, but you guys, you can't look at the ideal. Like, listen, we got to be grateful for what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, ladies, but if this bitch is out here popping that thing from the left and the right, you get what I'm saying? And they having 5, 6 kids, God bless them, because we need more of them. We need more of y'all popping that thing from the left and the right, okay? We want more children, ladies, more. Okay, I'm mute up.
You are so eggy.
I'm just saying.
You Aggie. But yeah, sometimes we need protection from you. Like, so I get that 100.
I am done.
I don't know, ladies. The way y'all was just talking about having switchblades, I see why they be kind of looking at us crazy. Um, and looking at that protection thing. I mean, y'all just said y'all was gonna stab them up.
That's what my daddy taught
If
me.
your
My
husband,
daddy
if
and
your
my uncle.
Nobody want to walk around looking like what was that boxer name that used to be looking like the Elephant Man after Ali had got through beating him up and stuff. Nobody
That
want to
Martin
walk
episode.
around with their head up, huh?
That Martin episode.
Like, yeah, no. Hey, I ain't with all that.
So, like, where do y'all think we can get more resources when it comes to, I guess, gaining proper knowledge on vetting a man that will protect you? Because I know, like, a lot of us, when we were growing up on television, those, like, you could see how.
Hey, you're in the matrix.
I think number one, a lot of men need to start holding other men accountable. For those men that are protectors and providers, they need to maybe have workshops and teach other men how to do the same. I see a lot of men egging men on that are disrespectful, that are rude. It's almost like, yeah, get her, check her. Just like Kevin Samuels. He was out of pocket in a lot of ways. And also, some women came to his room that were kind of delusional and unreasonable. I get that too. But at the same time, Kevin said a lot of wrong things. But men, just because they're hearing what they want to hear, they agree with it and they go with it. Instead of sitting back, taking a moment and think, how would you want your daughters to be treated? Or even your mother? Let's start with your mother. Because your mother is your first example of the type of woman you want to look for. I see a lot of men say all the time, who's teaching women how to cook? Well, hey, I'm from the South. I know how to cook. And I think all women should know how to cook. However, she shouldn't be cooking for you if you're not her husband. You have to make her a wife in order for you to get that. I don't even believe in feeding a man on a paper plate. I would never feed a man on a paper plate. Maybe the
So Tam, let
children.
me ask you a question then.
Uh huh.
When would you say that women should start accommodating those specific things? Because I can agree to an extent, right? But wouldn't you have to show that man something, right? That would show that you're worthy of being a wife. So I can't agree with the sentiment of like, not overdoing it, doing certain wifely duties. But wouldn't you have to do certain things to show him that, I'm worthy of being a wife, or what do you think that looks?
Well, I think he should at least start with asking you to be his woman. He's asking you for a commitment, for a relationship. If you're just dating, no. And just like your mama said, she was allowed to date other guys as she was getting to know the man that married her. And obviously he knew about it because she had to call him and tell him that this dude was out of order. So when we're dating, and dating does not mean sleeping with everybody. People need to understand what dating means. It's just getting to know people. When you start having sex, that's where it gets confused because you're bringing in the intimacy. But if we're just casually dating, no sex, we're going out to dinner, We're hanging out, we're laughing, talking, having fun. I'm just getting to know you as a person, as an individual. But when you cross that barrier into sex, then that skews everything. So I don't have a problem with if a man decides that just from dating you, he wants to commit to you and he's now asking you based on the rapport you guys have built together to be in a committed relationship, then you can start doing those things. But before I'm not saying don't be nice to him. If he's paid for several dinners, it's okay for you to pay for a dinner. If he's paid for a lot of stuff, it's okay for you to do some stuff. You do have to reciprocate. I don't have a problem with that. But when you get into the nitty gritty of being the wife and cooking and doing all this stuff, washing his clothes and all of that, at least be in a committed relationship. That shouldn't be hard.
Okay,
But if I'm
perfect. And I
wrong,
think
let me know.
no, and I can definitely agree with that. So, ladies, yeah, I know it's intermission time. We gotta pull another one of our amazing minute men up here. You know they so quick. It ain't gonna take long. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up one of our minute men. I
We
think
want
we already
Poppy.
I looked in the oh. Is that landslide trying to raise his hand? Oh, do I see land? Oh, landslide, you trying to get jumped today? Oh. You a VR? I'm seeing both of y'all, and I'm thinking the ladies want to jump either one of y'all. I'm thinking he and he raised his hand already. So let me just bring landslide up. I'm gonna drag you by them blocks up on this stage so you know what time
No,
it is.
let's
Landslide, we're gonna give
check the
you
chat,
one.
Jazz. Check your chat. Check your chat.
Was y'all
Okay.
able to hear me? Because my thing had cut out.
No, we
No,
couldn't
yeah,
hear you.
no,
All
we
right.
couldn't hear you.
Y'all
But we gonna
couldn't?
go
Oh,
ahead.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah, my bad. But we're gonna do a quick little intermission mail, and then if you have something to submit, we don't mind if you speak on it. We finna get one of our good minute men up here. I'm scouting. I see a couple people that would be good to get jumped. Mr. Petty, you've been talking in a chat a lot. I think you the next culprit. I think you're the next culprit. Oh, he hopped up real quick. Hey, don't jump on me, Mr. Petty. So you know what time it is. We're gonna give him 1 minute to speak to the topic. Hopefully refute it, right? We're gonna give him 1 minute. I'm about to start my timer. The way y'all like to go on a tangent. So I gotta make sure, y'all can tell time. So I'm about to start my minute. And you got it, Mr. Petty. Go ahead and let us know what you feel.
You
Y'all
on
be
mute.
yeah, you on mute, Mr. Petty. Y'all be just as quiet in the bedroom. See? Oh,
Just
Oh,
quiet. No.
Ooh,
trying to
Let me
savor
put that
this
hero
60
up on my
seconds.
PTR. Let me
Oh, so
put
y'all
my
just gonna
hero.
talk over my 60 seconds?
nope,
go
I didn't
ahead,
even
go ahead.
go ahead. I started the timer now.
Nah, as far as the topic, right? I just don't think y'all like the way protection is displayed. Like I think y'all have this deception in your head of how that protection should be, and it's based on some women's feelings, right? And it's not that at all. The way protection is given is how it's given to you. You can't sit up there and trip about how it's said. The tone and all of that. Just accept it for what it is. Nobody's trying to control you. They're just trying to keep shit from happening to you. It's that simple.
That's it.
And
See, this
tone
is
isn't important when y'all
he only
He
have
and
said
look,
daughters.
love,
he
he only had
landed
30
his
seconds.
plane in 30 seconds. He turned his
Girl,
plane.
that plane was so quick. I chop. See,
Y'all
you
want to
know
I
what?
bring up
didn't even see
another
the
brother
plane
for
in the
30 more
air.
seconds?
Hey,
Well, it,
look, Jazz. There go the hero. They gonna want to come up now. Yeah, pop your
Child,
shit.
I didn't, it took longer to get
There
my
go
bags
little
out of
freak.
baggage claim than he just came up here and tried to get on the plane. Child, listen, listen.
Look at little freak.
At some point in time, I do think that, but to his point though too, because now we can jump him now that he's gone. Um, Protection, y'all think protection look the way y'all want it to look, actually, right? We don't, I do think that while we are ladies and we may want it a little softer, things like that, y'all men not even doing that. So, like, you see how quick you just landed that plane? That's how quick the protection is. So quick. I mean, it didn't even happen, basically. So I do see Miss Pure trying to hop off. I see Amelia. She look like she wants to speak too. Y'all can go ahead and
It be
we can
so
jump up now,
funny
ladies. Keep going.
cause it's funny cause y'all be talking so much in the chat, but when y'all get up here, y'all Cat
Facts.
got the
They
plug. Cat
scared.
got the plug.
Wait, so can somebody summarize like what he said? That's kind of what I wanted to ask.
Girl, it was so quick. I think we all missed it. It
One
went
of
right
the
over our
main
head.
points
I
that
ain't
I
gonna
thought.
lie, I'm
Just
trying to be
get
So
out
quiet.
okay,
long. One of the
so
main points. Oh, go ahead.
okay, so what he's saying is, because I wanted to respond to it, was sometimes for us protection looks like I'm gonna go get my big brother and he gonna f you up, right? And protection doesn't always need to look like that. Like there was this guy I like to do Chicago stepping, right? But there was a dude at a venue and he was like getting too fresh. So I wanted my cousin, who I know will F a brother up, to come with me. And he simply said, stay home, right? He said, don't go. Because it's like, well, I already know he had 3 strikes. But anyway, he got 2 strikes. So, it's like sometimes protection doesn't look like we want for it to look, right? I wanted him to be there and be my bodyguard so I could go out dancing and have fun. He's like, I am not even trying to be all up in that. So the protection I can give to you is telling you not to carry your yellow tail up there, right? And we have to understand that while they're protecting us, we have to also be in a protection in a position whereby we're protecting them and not asking them to put themselves in harm's way because we want our way. Does that make sense?
I agree. I agree.
Yes, yes.
So are you saying we gotta protect the men?
Sure.
Yes, it makes sense.
Of course.
She
Sorry.
mean don't put them in harm's way. Like don't be out there starting shit. Like don't go to the club, pick the big buff ass nigga when you out on date night with your man and be like, yeah, and I got my man with me. Like don't do that. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your man about to get shot, don't do it to him.
I mean, but what if my man can't stand up to him? Like, what if I be like, and my man here, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? You try to,
That's only if
you know
Okay,
what?
See,
so
before
so
my
where
man got sick, I don't know, Jazz. I might have been with you, but now his MS is all over the motherfucking place. So I wouldn't do that to him now, right? Because his cousins used to take him to the club because they knew he was about it, right? He should tear that motherfucker up when they needed to beat some people up. They come get my husband. So yeah, I'm with you, Jazz.
I think at the day too, this is what I was saying in the room the other day. Is like again the niggas is lazy. These men is lazy. Niggas, men, boys, whatever. Like they lazy because it's not just physical protection. You gotta have your emotional intelligence on point so that you could give the right advice and stuff like that as well. So I feel like that's kind of what she was talking about. Another form outside of just physical protection, which is okay. I could come beat somebody up for you, but also now we have a mental, you feel me, protection where I'm using my mind and I'm giving you thought, I'm gonna give you information, you know what I mean, and telling you to not make this move. And it's the same thing emotionally, you feel me, and spiritually, right? That these men can protect us. Like, because the one thing is they want us to submit so bad, but we're not submitting to nobody that's not in a divine essence. So if y'all tapped in more into y'all spirituality and had some actual knowledge from a spiritual point of view to teach us, then you would probably be better off, as well in your leadership.
But I got a question, ladies, and don't fight me, don't jump me. I'm not the man. And when I say it, I'm not talking about the ladies in this room. But aren't y'all the same ladies that said he can't dictate what you wear, he can't tell you what you can and can't do? Ooh, it's kind of scaring me because now y'all saying, "Oh, I'm gonna follow what he say," but when he tell you not to put that dress on, you told him you want to wear that dress. So are we saying now we're gonna allow the men to tell us whatever the fuck they want to do, like make the stipulations? Because in one breath, I hear all the women like, "No, women should do what they need to do for women," but then it's like that form of protection will be him telling you to take that dress off because he know the attention you're gonna get at that club. Are we saying that they can do that now?
Yeah.
I mean, I
You know
guess it
what?
people's situation, that's for sure, you know what I mean, because I think that if you're in a relationship or you have a significant other, then you are responsible to represent them in a certain way, and if you don't like that, then you need to be single, you feel me, you need to be by yourself.
Yes.
or
Yeah,
at
I'll
least
be
not with
honest.
them.
made me come up with a good question, Jazz. Do black women want independence from black men's protection that we see as them being controlling?
I'll be honest, y'all. Like, listen, when it comes to this, like, my husband will be like, listen, you know, what you about to do with this dress? Let me know. Nah, we ain't about to wear that right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like my man. I like my man being overprotective. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like it. You know what I mean? I was
But
like,
your
good
mama,
stuff.
what would be over protecting? Because I can agree, right? What would
Yeah.
what, would- what would look different from a man as being overprotective and just being protective? What would be like that thin line? Like what would be the difference? I'm like, she got my bad, y'all. She had a hot mic, but yeah, what would that be? Because you said you like your man overprotective, but like to me, what really is like overprotective, right? What would that
Well,
look like compared to somebody just simply protecting you? What would that look like?
I got an
I don't know.
example. When
Yeah, I was gonna say like my husband doesn't want me to be like paraded about. You get what I'm saying? Like we we go out somewhere, but you know what I mean. Like we've had some situations, so he want me to hurry up, do what I'm doing. Get back in the car. Hurry up, get back in the car. You know what I'm saying? He don't want me to just be out there. So I don't know. To me, that's normal protection. Overprotection is when shit make your stomach feel like I don't know what this nigga trying to do. Like when you walking up the street, when you leave the house. Look, this is a situation I had before when he was allowing me to date. When you leave the house and you notice the niggas driving behind you slowly as you're walking, that's when the nigga's crazy, okay? That's when it's time to fucking get the fuck out of there, okay? When the niggas following you in this car and shit like that, that's when the nigga's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I want to say, as you're dating, like we talked about a little while ago, this is where you're going to have these types of conversations. And it may be an outfit that you wear on a particular date that he may not be too fond of because it's showing a lot of your body parts. Maybe. I don't know. He may not have that conversation right now in that moment, but at some point that conversation is going to come up. And this is where you can decide as a woman if you want to deal with it or not. Most men now who are protectors and providers do want modest dressing women, which I don't have a problem with that because you have to be respectful. Sometimes when women dress certain ways, men are pining over you in a sexual perspective. They're not just saying, oh, she's a nice looking woman and that's a cute outfit. This gives him that thought of he wants to have sex. Do you want somebody looking at you as if they want to have sex? And he may look at you in a pantsuit saying the same thing, but that's probably just a total perv. That'll be with anybody. But I'm just saying, don't start something you don't want to have to finish. But I do agree that men who want to protect and provide, they're going to want you to dress a certain way, and it's not going to be Cardi B ish, Meg the Stallion ish. It's not gonna. They don't like that.
I hear Tam. And I have a comment though. I This isn't about me because I'm not this way, but I do have friends that like naturally they just dress what people would say in like hoish ways or maybe sexy, but it's not. It's let's say for example, one of my friends, she gives sensual fluidity classes, mostly for women, and sometimes she does it for couples. And some of the show she would do shows, burlesque shows, and to advertise herself and her classes, she is usually in like very provocative, sexy lingerie. And she's actually like a sweetheart. You never hear her talking about, she's with this man, then another man, and you never even see her with them. This is just part of like her career, and she loves uh just doing that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like if she's with a man who's like, oh yeah, I don't want you showing your body, then she's gonna have to stop her entire career for that.
Right. That's not.
Um, so it's kind of like I feel like it's situational, like I know I've seen stories of like, sex workers, and they have like an agreement with their partner if the partner knows it, and then there's partners that think they can handle it but they don't, like, or they could just be escorts, not really like not like, or not doing the whole thing, just like doing the pole dancing and that's it. Or and if guys can't handle, you know them exposing themselves or just wearing that kind of attire, I just don't think they should be involved with those kind of women. But if they are more into like the traditional woman, um and like the kind that society has put out there, which is majority of women, I guess, I'm not sure, then yeah, I think it would go by what Tam said.
So, Amelia, can I ask you a
Can I
question?
say?
To your statement, do you think that, because I heard you say she would have to stop her career, ideally, wouldn't she want, if her man asked her to just quit her career and come under my leadership and I take care of everything, do you think that that could be a resolution to these type of women, right? So like, just and again, it doesn't even have to be truly to your story, just thinking that the sentence you said about she would have to quit her career if he asked her to change the attire. Well, what if altogether he said, I want you to stop doing it? Do you think that lady should be abiding by that? Or, you know what I'm saying, like, just kind of, you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. That's kind of how I looked at it. Like, if he didn't want her, you know, being in lingerie, she would have to stop her whole career. Because it's not like, hey, can you do your job fully clothed? Fully clothed, like her burlesque shows, they're like that. They just wear lingerie, sexy lingerie, and they're like flowy and everything, and they have tools and whatnot. Like, it's just, she would have to stop everything that she's doing. And it's honestly up to her. Like, if she thought, okay, I got enough out of this and I found love uh in another career, okay. But if she's like, no, this kind of defines me. And she does dance classes for everyone. She does it all around the spectrum for little kids. Obviously she's not wearing lingerie when she's with them, and even for like elders, like real, like in nursing homes, and she dresses for each occasion. uh and but it's the love of like dance for like all people, and embracing sensuality as well. And she doesn't do it in like a raunchy, not that that's wrong, I like ratchet stuff too, but it's like she doesn't do it, if you see her page, like it's not in that way. It's more of people embracing their sexuality, and not in like a demeaning way, or coming from an empty or fear-based place, and like empowerment of, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I feel like she'd be like, nah, don't, I'm not gonna be with you, bro, if he told her to do.
I have
Yeah,
a
I
quick
don't think that's
question to
fair.
that. Can I pose it real quick? So wouldn't that mean that she wouldn't have to stop her career because she has clothed opportunities, like she does the kids one, the elderly one. I mean,
Mhm.
she can do it for the housewives and they can wear slips or whatever, so she's a little covered up. Like, doesn't that mean that she absolutely would not have to stop her career if a man,
Yeah,
she fell in love and he's like, you know what, I want to protect you and I can't protect anything that I can't kind of cover up and keep safe. That the two things kind of have to go together. So do you think she would be able to find some compromise because she does have the opportunity to continue her career if that were to be the case?
yeah, definitely. I feel like she would, definitely, because she could just post about all of the things that don't require lingerie, and then all of that lingerie stuff, do it more privately. Like, she doesn't just have to drop it 100%. But I was just like responding for like situational stuff from what Tam said. Um, yeah.
I don't think that is fair for, just like men don't want to be changed out of what they doing. I don't think that it's fair for a man to come and try to change you. It's like, maybe adjust for the better. You know, we all got things that, you know, we could constantly work on and grow, you know, individually and together. But ultimately, I feel like take her how you found her. Like, you know, if you want something else, then you have to continue your search and go find what you're looking for. But if you come into somebody's life that's doing something like that and then ask her to change, then to me that's selfish. You feel me? You either should accept that you maybe you like burlesque. Like this, it would have to be somebody that truly like lines up with, you know what I mean, what she's doing, not just because of the potential that, oh, I could change her and I could make her a housewife, and you know, and boom, all she got to do is first, you know, quit her job and stop dressing like this, and you know, boom, and then down the line when it become problems, it's like now you confused because she didn't fully embrace the role that you wanted her to embrace. It's like, well, if you would have embraced where she was at and met her, you know what I mean, based off of that level, then it would probably be more of a success rate. So I personally don't believe that we should be trying to change people from how, you know what I mean, when they have a career or whatever, when like how we meet them. Like that's what they had going on when you met them. Then you should, you know, enjoy that about them and let them continue to do their thing. And if they decide, you know, ultimately that they want to come out of that, then so be it. But if that's a deal breaker for you, then move on, because otherwise you bringing hell like to the both of y'all.
Yeah, I agree with Mel. There's people that really think that they could change a person, both sides, men, women. And initially, like I said, they could say, oh, yeah, I'll work with this. But then down the line, the insecurities are going to start showing. And then that's when they start saying, oh my God, I don't know if I could trust her. What if she's going to these burlesque shows? For example, just like using the scenario that I give you, she's going to these burlesque shows and being a hoe. And then, like, they start expressing that in some way, shape, or form. And then ultimately, she just like lets him go. And then he goes prancing around talking about, you can't trust these bitches or whatever. And like, start projecting everywhere and being like, I'm not gonna protect a woman no more because they're hoes. Like they're just because they're hurt.
Amelia, but if
So
he's
Is he
dating a
gonna go
woman that does
prancing?
burlesque,
Is
it
he gonna
sounds
go?
like he's just insecure. Like,
They
why is he
do
trying
be
to
going
change his
prancing,
lifestyle?
prancing.
That don't make sense.
They do be going
prancing.
prancing.
They're prancing
Prancing.
because it's yeah, it's the insecurity. They're just like just wailing around, just like nah, just get out of here.
I've had that happen a few times. It's like you, and I don't even think it's anything that I do because I am the type of person to where I like to show a little bit of skin sometimes, but for the most part, I'm dressed pretty modest. But I do consider myself to be pretty beautiful, and the aura that I carry is pretty strong. And I feel like men have liked that when, they first meet me and they're starting to get to know me. They see I got a good head on my shoulders. And then it's like down the line, it's a problem when I speak up for myself. It's a problem if I challenge them. It's a problem, especially like I had one situation where this guy didn't want to exclusively, like he didn't want to make things exclusive, but he wanted me to not date other people. And I explained to him straight up, I said, I'm single. I'm going to behave as if I'm single. I'm not understanding why you think that I'm not going to ever go on a date, that I'm not going to talk to another man or what have you. And you're specifically telling me that you don't want to be exclusive. So then he's boohooing, I'm this, I'm that. But it was like, I feel like that's the same energy that attracted you in the first place. But down the line, it absolutely be flipping. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you turn from the angel to the devil in a matter of 3 weeks because you don't conform to what they want you to conform to. And we're strictly talking about kind of, well, not strictly, but scenarios like the one I just mentioned. Like it don't even have to be about hoeing, is what I'm basically saying. Like it could be whole energetic and they'll still turn that shit around and get right to prancing, talking about you are a hoe or you are this or you are that because I want to date because you just specifically told me that I'm still single. Like, be for real.
Kai, let me get this clear. He
Uh-huh.
didn't want to be monogamous with you, but he wanted you to be monogamous with him.
And yep, and it was not the
Man,
first
no.
time. It's not the first time I've had it happen either. Literally,
So
we were on the phone and he's like,
Mm.
I was like, okay, well, do you want to be exclusive? Yada, yada, yada. And I was just like, well, I just want to make sure that things are clear because you've now left the door open for me to date and see other people, because we were a few weeks. Matter of fact, no, we were like a month and some change into that thing. And yeah, I was like, let's make sure this is clear. And yeah, he didn't want to move too fast and put a title on things and make things exclusive. But me seeing other men was a problem.
fake.
Like that made me a hoe. It made me a whole bunch of other shit. And I'm just like,
They
uh,
always trying to guilt trip.
okay.
It's like a guilt trip reverse psychology thing.
Yeah,
They
that shit
want to
was weird, man.
control. They want to control you because you're beautiful. They want to control you. They want to possess you. They want to be the owner of you. And if you're not going to do the right thing, then I mean, fuck you. I mean, what the hell? What I mean, that's ridiculous. Like that's literally ridiculous to think you're gonna you're gonna be exclusive to him when he's cheating and fucking around like that. Doesn't even make sense.
It
You
and
shouldn't
and it
even give him
made
the time of
perfect
day.
sense. It made perfect sense to him. And it's like I said, it's not the first time. Like it's not the first time. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on in the noggins, but it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. But back to that flipping, like I was just an example of how that shit can flip. It'll be the same energy, the strong, kind of independent energy that'll attract them because I don't know. Is it like some conquest kind of mentality that is you can go ahead, Mel, and ad lib or whatever if you was gonna
Yeah, I like
jump in.
kids. I
But
like Jeezy. Yeah.
I think it's that
sorry, what'd you
whole
say,
dynamic.
Mel?
No, I was just adding to like I'm just saying, girl,
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be like that conquest shit. But yeah, you'll definitely catch men. I think it was Amelia that was saying it. You'll definitely catch them being attracted to a certain energy, and then the insecurities and the flipping and shit'll come out later down the line.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the whole dynamic of like the submission and the femininity, and then them being the leader and the masculine, which is already sort of messed up like today in 2024. It's kind of like a mesh of what was and what is now, because of what society's already created. And it's so confusing. Like you go to all these clubhouse conversations, or even outside of clubhouse in regular life, and how people are talking about what is masculine, what is feminine, or what is the leader slash what is submission. And everyone just has like a skewed, nobody really has like a standard definition of like what it is and what works. But if people just understood that partners or relationships, y'all could create that on your own based on like your own experiences, it'll probably be easier. That people can't just say all men like this, all women like that, because all women have different experiences. I know that for me, some men won't like me because I've gone through so much shit, and like I'm 32 years old, I'm single, okay? And it's mostly been because I had a really hard life. I didn't have time to date. The people that I did date, because like I've had probably two actual relationships, um, because that's all I had time for. But it's because I had a really hard life. I was like working really hard, going to school, and it was real hard. Like, got sick really bad, healed myself. That was really hard. Like, I've been going through my own shit, and now that I'm healed, I'm like, okay, I have time now, but people are set in their ways. And you can't, you just kind of have to find like the best match of flaws, kind of like my flaws combined with someone else's flaws. Can we both tolerate it type thing? And it's a hard thing nowadays about like the masculine and the feminine and the combination. And for me, some men would tell me that I'm more like too, I should submit more. And I'm like, well, if you showed me you're more of a leader, then I won't have to like add more of my masculine. And then everything will be good because you're not protecting me. So I have to protect me. So it's just, that's what it is.
So you have to protect yourself even when a man's around. I'm misunderstanding.
Exactly. So he biologically is a man, but he's like, I don't want to use the term, but a pussy. Like he's not protecting me. He's not um giving me security. He like, how is it on the first date that I pay? Like they're literally looking at me at the register. Not that this has to happen, but it's like you took way too long. And then he's like, no, I should be the one paying. And I'm like, why didn't you take your wallet out quicker then? Or it's like why am I doing that? Or the third date, okay, can we have half? Like I'm like, what energy am I putting out here to be getting this? But I think it's just, it has to
Oh,
be New
you
York
paying?
because New
You
York
going
men are
Dutch,
struggling out here. Say again?
Emilia? Are you paying half?
Yeah. Like it's
Oh
a struggle
my
out here in,
god!
yeah,
Just keep it
it's a
moving.
struggle out here
Keep
in
it
New
moving.
York.
Sis.
It's just
And
Yeah.
if these
understanding.
men
Oh,
can't appreciate y'all, y'all are literally gorgeous young ladies. You understand what I'm saying? If they
Oh
can't appreciate y'all,
no!
y'all need to keep it rocking. That's the wrong nigga. Because the right one is gonna appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are
What
really
a
gorgeous.
D?
Y'all are very intelligent. I can hear from what you're speaking. And you don't have to put up with goofy goof ass niggas. Fuck them. Like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time and don't waste your money. Like what I
and,
would do on a situation like that is I would pay for my food and then I would get up and go home. Pay for your shit, get up and go
That
home.
part.
And I think actually this is the perfect segment. Leave it to your mama to always open it up for me. So go ahead and play another clip from y'all. And I think that it kind of alludes to what your mama is talking about, right, ladies? So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip, and then we're going to speak kind of to what we heard. Or if you want to just kind of speak to what we're already speaking of, we will go ahead and invite you on stage. If you're already on stage and want to speak, of course, you can just hop off your mute. But I am going to play this quick clip, and then y'all, we can speak to it, or like I said, the topic above. So give me this. I'm loading this up now. It seems like everybody wants the black woman to fail. When the black woman is a single mother, raising her kids by herself, the daddy is gone. She doing what she can, she providing. Roof over the head, bills paid, kids in school, kids are okay. So what is the problem? See, men don't say nothing when they leave the home, leave their children. If she's a bad mama, take her to court. Get custody, right? Instead of complaining about her being a bad mom, have your proof, have your receipts, and that's it. But instead, you want to make her feel bad when you ain't even there with your kids. You say give another woman kids. I'm going to meet somebody else that fits my description because this woman can't do what I say. She can't do what I want. But it makes you look bad because your kids still looking for you and they can't find you. What about that? What about that? Mm. So, as he alluded to, ladies, y'all heard the clip. I don't even got to break it down because y'all let me know how y'all felt
What
about
was that
that
part
clip,
he said
y'all. Cause,
about that? What was right before that? Sorry, I missed it.
oh no, that was pretty much what he was saying. He just started off
He
saying that
said,
everybody kind of wants the black woman to fail, even when she is a single mother, but still doing all that she can. She
right.
still got to be. They still make her feel bad. They still make her feel like that's not
Right.
enough. And essentially, the man is missing in the home. So you're the real problem, but you want to make her feel bad for doing all that she can in the house,
Hmm.
but you outside the house and still can't get it
My
right.
God.
Mm.
It goes back to what your parents used to teach you about being equally yoked. There's so much gems that was dropped from our elders that went over our heads that we don't realize, and now we're listening to society. We're getting up there in age, and we feel like we're women, and I don't believe in the rhetoric of you're the prize or whatever, but know your value. And when you know your value, you know what to look for, you know what you're searching for. And I think now people are watching, oh, I'm 25 and I need to get married, so you're trying to make people fit. Your gut is telling you, like, people don't trust their intuition, people don't trust what their spirit is telling them. They're listening to grandma tell you, oh, I want to see you have a baby, and oh, you're not married yet, something got to be wrong with you. So you're seeing these people that are not quite there, and you're trying to make them fit, and it's never going to work. It may work for a little bit, but you're not equally yoked with the person. And a lot of people don't know what they're looking for. They're stepping out here and they're looking for love in somebody else, right? You don't know what love looks like for yourself, but you're trying to recognize it in somebody else and wonder why dating is chaotic, wondering why, like, you're bleeding on each other. You're bleeding on each other. This person is possessive over you, and it looks like, oh, he wants me because he told me he got mad when I was talking to, oh, I love Joe. No, like, if you don't know what it is, you're gonna attribute certain things to something that it's not. So when you know what you're looking for and you know what you possess, you can't even sit across the table with certain people. You'll pay that tab so quick after your one drink or your whatever, and never speak to that person again. Block that number because you know. But it's like a person's telling you clearly what it is. Not throwing you under the bus, Kai. Even a dude that was like, I'm not looking to be exclusive, that would have been that right there, because you're telling me, okay, you want to play, you're not ready, we're not in the same direction. I might have not wanted what you wanted, and yeah, after a month you may not know. But if you're asking me to do something that you're not ready to do, I know we're not equally yoked, and not we're not walking the same plane. So I'm gonna excuse myself and I'm gonna take myself. And people are afraid to be single. Why are you afraid of your own energy? Why are you afraid to master yourself, work on you until you find your person? But people are trying to make things fit, and they want that wedding so bad, and they don't realize that the wedding is not the end all be all. When you marry that person, you have to live with this person, you have to make decisions with this person, you have to create life with this person, and you don't even like the person. You know how many people are married to people they can't stand? How many people have babies and are creating legacy with people that they hate? But we keep doing the things like it's repeated behavior. Learn to love yourself, recognize what love looks like, and then date. I tell people that all the time. We be forgetting that aspect. How you gonna know what it is if you don't know what it is?
Yes, and just to clarify, that story was from maybe a year or 2 years ago. That was just what I felt was relevant to share at the time. It absolutely was null and void after that. And I completely agree with everything that you said. That was some fire that you just spit for real. Why are you uncomfortable with your own energy? It was that piece for me.
Right, because let me tell you something, y'all. This gonna be like, y'all gonna tell me to shut up, but listen, don't wait until your knees bad to twerk, ladies, okay? Don't wait too long. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. Don't waste your good youth. Y'all still looking pretty and shit. Don't waste y'all good youth out here worried about what these men think of you. This is your life. Enjoy your life. You know y'all are not bad people. Y'all ain't out here being sluts. Like, fuck what they think. Fuck what they think. They're confused and lost. The right one's gonna know how to appreciate you and treat you right. You know what I'm saying? Until then, enjoy your life. This is your life. That's all I'm gonna say.
Self love is the best love, lady.
Yeah, and talking to the question that's on top of, I do feel unprotected ultimately. Like most of the men that I've dated, the farthest they go is just like doing all these regular mannerisms of like holding a door, pulling your seat out, walking on the right side of the street. But beyond that, I just haven't felt other forms of protection. I don't know what y'all consider protection beyond just like physical, like I'll fight for you. But there's like other ways that men could protect women and in society as a whole, and like in an individual relationship, whether it be romantic or a friendship, um, or in community. Like, I just feel like I don't see that. I think it's more of a survival of the fittest. And I heard Bunny Eats Wolf mentioning something like that about how she grew up in a time where black men protected the black women in their community, and things are just going left nowadays. And I think it's because those times it was like it's not different from now. There's still like, racism, police brutality, and all of those things. There's just a bunch of other issues also going on, and it's a melting pot, at least now here in New York, with a bunch of other issues. And protection just like has been changing. It's been changing evolution wise. Like, we're not in a jungle no more. They're not out there like bringing food to us after being out for like a week trying to hunt or whatever. uh Providing and like protecting looks different today. And I understand, like, I even feel for men, honestly, because it's different. It's like now women could provide for themselves, financially at least, in a lot of ways actually. So then they're probably, I don't know, maybe they don't see their value. And and when they lose that, it's like, what's the point of protecting women? I just feel like that's what's really happening to a lot of men.
I've been seeing something come across my feed saying hobosexual, okay?
You
And
know
I clicked
what?
on the link.
It's a
Don't let
real
them in your house. Don't let them in your house, lady.
that part be driving these bitches cars and stuff. Like, while you at work, sis, wait a damn minute. Wait. But no, I had another thought. And I think a
Hey,
very underrated
y'all
form of
catch me up.
okay.
What is a hobosexual? I
Oh
just for
God.
quiet. What?
He's
I'm
homeless.
sorry.
He's
I'm
homeless and
out
he's
of touch.
attracted to women with a home.
He date women with homes
That's
because
it.
he ain't got none.
That wreck.
Whoa.
You
Okay.
show up with a trash bag of clothes and
Hobosexual.
just don't.
With a PS4 inside of it. Yes.
And someone that should land his bike because he can't afford a plane.
You know what?
Not land the
Oh
bike.
my fucking God.
Land the
That's
bike.
That's
oh
what I'm trying to
Lord.
do.
Right.
Fix him up and then he leave you for a wipe.
They
You
usually do
wanna
do that.
build a
But
bank?
ladies,
Oh my God.
y'all know what time it is, y'all. It's Minute Man time. Y'all know
You
we
can
gotta.
tell I'm old. I catch y'all put me on game, nigga. What?
Call
What
them
the fuck?
Barbara the Builders.
Yeah. So
That's the
again, ladies,
new
let's go
word.
ahead. Let's go ahead and get ready to, allow these men. They always want to interrupt some shit.
Oh
We gotta let
Let's
them
goodness.
go ahead
back
and
in again.
find our. Let's go. Yeah, I know. It's okay, ladies. We only give them a minute. They just as quick in the
Can I
bedroom, so
spit
we
that thought
we
real
don't
quick
gotta
before you let
even.
them up here so they can respond to it too?
Let's just let them go first since they've been waiting so gracefully.
Okay.
And then,
Oh
because
Lord.
once we kick them out, girl, it's just back to our territory. So let's just let them have that 1 minute. That way we can kick them the
They
fuck out the
have been
house.
waiting.
They a long time, and I want them to keep waiting. But I am gonna ask if any fella that is in the goo that wants to, take this 1 minute, take this 1 minute. I want you to go ahead
Motherfucking
and raise your hand.
homosexual. That's my new word. Goddamn.
Yeah. Do I get my
Go
1 minute?
ahead. Landslide, all we got. This the only option we had. This the
I
only
mean,
option we had.
I'm already here. Y'all left the door open. I'm in here. I'm in the fucking foyer with the boudoir.
You lucky nobody else raised their hand because other than that, we would kick you out like we do any other time. So let me
That's
go ahead
fine,
and
but
get
y'all
my
got to
little
get this
timer
work.
ready. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Landslide, your minute starts now. We gonna be quiet, ladies. Let him get that 1 minute off, and then we gonna kick his ass the fuck out the kitchen. Go ahead.
First, first thing, man, it's sad that the women that are married on this stage are giving this terrible ass advice of do whole activities while you're young, acting like that's not the same activities that not gonna keep these hoish women fucking single. Like this girl that's 32 years old. It's crazy that a hard life is working and studying. Shouldn't you be working and studying? You should be doing that. How the fuck is that a hard life? You mean you went to college and went to school or got a job and you couldn't find a good nigga to hold you down? That's That's crazy. That's a red flag for men, man. This shit is wild. And like, how y'all gonna sit there and encourage women to start twerking when their knees are good? They should be in the kitchen when their knees are good. They should learn how to set a table when their knees are good. They should be learning the difference between a soup spoon and a motherfucking salad fork when their knees are good, not fucking twerking. Can we please instill some morals and ethics in these women while we have an opportunity to, instead of these old ass ladies who sit there and got niggas that they control sitting there giving the worst advice for these young women who are actually looking for love and looking for something productive. Half of the shit that y'all been saying is just gonna keep these.
Oh, see that, see that, see that, see that. I
This
love that. I
nigga,
love
this
that.
Woo!
Look at
motherfucker
him.
gonna
Look
make
at
Yes.
him.
me pull my
I love.
pimp
Look at that.
hand out,
Ladies got to
Woo!
keep
nigga.
jumping on him.
He
Look at
came
him.
in
Look,
here
Make
I
me
tell
ready.
pull my
y'all a
pimp hand
story.
out.
I
I'm finna
waited too
pimp
late to
slap a
twerk.
nigga. What?
He
He
been
been
Waited
ready
too
to come
late
up
to
here.
twerk, ladies. Don't be like me. I waited
Facts.
too late to
Motherfucker
twerk.
got the game wrong, nigga.
How you gonna come into
So
a
what y'all
room
ladies
space
feel
where
about
we
that? What
talking
y'all
with
got to
each other
say
and
to
be that
that?
mad?
I
Women
feel
should
like it
be
was
fucking
some
these kind of niggas. That's what's going
of that
on.
stuff was
You should.
directed.
How is he
I
still
don't
on the
even call
stage?
names, but some of that stuff was directed.
He sound hurt.
Nah, it look like he
Yeah,
gone.
I got
I
something to say
mean,
about it.
I kind of think he was right to a certain degree. Um, because you're gonna, and y'all hear me say this every time I get on stage, water seeks its own level. So if you a hoe, you're gonna get a pimp. If you are a good girl, hopefully you're gonna get a good guy. But too, we definitely gotta. The way he delivered it was trash, but you kind of gotta pick through the trash and understand the parts that. I mean, I don't know about the needs, about the kitchen and all of that. Everybody should know how to cook, men and women. But if you want a gentleman, you have to be a lady. There's not gentlemen out here running around looking for hoes.
I
Period.
just want to I just want to say this, ladies. I just want to say this. This is why I said this, ladies. I waited too late to twerk, okay? Now I need somebody to slide some motherfucking oil to me, okay? On the kneecaps. All I'm trying to say is it's exercise and it's good for your knees. You need flexion in the joints, ladies. It's nothing wrong with doing that. Listen, the ladies, it's wisdom of wisdom. It's wisdom of women, excuse me. They twerking for a reason. And not just some dumb women throwing it back. That's motherfucking exercise for your knees, okay? Do what you can. Keep them
In
knees
your
working,
hips.
ladies. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. I
Nah,
waited too
Exactly.
late.
Let the
I ain't
Well,
finna
the
action
be
speak
reason
like
for
why
you.
you
I'm
don't need to
itself.
older than
twerk is
you.
because the men don't like it.
There you go.
But
See,
they do like
Miss
it.
Williams,
That's the
shouts out
thing.
to you, boo.
They
They
like it
do
at
like
home.
it.
Wait till they
Lovely lady.
find out it's
Let
not
me
about
share something
that.
with you. When you hit 50, there's nothing wrong with doing yoga. Yoga brings about flexibility where you can still do a pussy pop on a motherfucking handstand. But what I need to tell you though, this is what you need to know. Stop fucking these trash ass niggas. Cause see, my thing is, once you throw the trash out, you don't go back and pick that shit up. It was a reason that you throwed it out there in the first motherfucking place. It was fucking trash. I rest my mic.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Praise.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that we should give
I
each
am the.
other good advice. Um But to your mama point, it is benefits. Like I think I don't know. Coming up in the era where lady in the street, freak in the bed, like to me, that's the code. So I like outside of that, I don't get why you can't twerk or whatever. If you twerking at home or you feel me, sometimes maybe you might go out and dance or something. But for the most part, if you twerking at home, it's nothing wrong with that. Even furthermore, if you dancing for your man, is nothing wrong with that. But you gotta first know how to dance. You gotta first know how to twerk. So it's like at some point you do gotta practice. But also, it's real benefits to twerking. You feel me? Within trauma, like women hold a lot of trauma in their hips, and so a lot of the times the women that's not twerking, I'm not talking about your mama, but a lot of the times the women that can twerk be mad at the girls that are twerking. You feel me? But because a lot of it is even stemming from the trauma that they holding on to. So we can see when we go back in time that moving of the hips has always been a thing. Gyrating has always been a thing, and is actual benefits in your body for that. So you're not gonna let the fellas just try to make you seem, oh, you a hoe just because you talk about twerking or whatever. Like if you doing that for your man, you doing that in your house or whatever, it's nothing wrong with that at all.
And even
That's
if, look,
that's
so
right,
with
man.
that being said, that part, that was some
Okay,
hot
go ahead.
fire you just spit. Because even if we out, let's say it's 4 or 5 of us girls, we out, we drinking and we walking down the street to the next bar or what have you, and we have a moment to ourselves and we all break out in a little twerk, it's not that deep. Like it's not that deep to deem the whole group hoes just because you see them having a little fun. They probably releasing some trauma. They bonding. They having a good time. They de-stressing from a week's work. Y'all are freaking hilarious with these gifts. They de-stressing and shit. Like it's just not that deep. When she said it, twerk while you young and stuff. Like I mean, supposed to have fun. Like I just didn't see why it got took like so fucking deep because I mean I didn't think it was like hardcore advice. It was kind of a little funny joke, but kind of real at the same time. Like it just wasn't that goddamn deep.
And let me just elaborate just a little bit. I was just bullshitting and trolling just a few minutes ago, but I want to say this on a woman note, right? There's nothing wrong with you going out to dancing. Dancing is fun. It releases a lot of stress. We've been doing it for centuries. You know what I'm saying? But it is a thing that is appropriate behavior and inappropriate behavior that shouldn't be rationalized and justified. You know what I'm saying? If you're at a club, of course you're gonna dance. Some guy probably asks you to dance, and you get out there, you have a good time and stuff like that. But always remember that your body is your temple. And now we're coming in a time where we have to think on a mentality that I don't want to do anything to shame my children, to shame my family and stuff like that, because now it's this liberation thing is getting a little bit out of hand, and we're wondering why that protection is needed more and more, because women are starting to be attacked, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? And not having sex on the first date and willy-nilly, because what my brother always told me, a woman cannot do everything a man can do. See, I was taught whereas a man can walk down the street butt naked and they'd be like, ha ha, that nigga crazy. But if a woman do it, they'll put that jacket on her for the rest of her life. And unfortunately that's a difference, intellectually also. So I'm gonna land my plane with that.
And since he was attacking like each individual story, while out of breath, he did talk about how like it's a red flag that I've been doing what I'm supposed to do and haven't found anyone. Like I said, this is a platform. I'm not going to share every single little detail about my life. If you want more context, then you could ask about it. You don't have to be making assumptions, saying that's a red flag. You don't know the whole story. I just mentioned some parts, and uh, it's just hard. Like sometimes I know that somebody hears something about the water at the same level, you attract like whatever you are or what's within. Sometimes the environment you're in is toxic. You could be a good person, and then around you, everyone is just like not up to your level. So I've definitely done a lot of reflection and not to I don't think that it's like within me and I'm attracting toxicity. I just think that it's the environment around me. I mean, here in New York City, rent for a studio is $3,000, and then the wages aren't really caught up to that. So I understand how like men are having a hard time even paying bills, and that you have to like date someone that makes over six figures, like 250K, so that you could get like a decent. So I do understand. I'm not even like shading on men for that, but at the same time, if I'm going to be out here, then it's just like a standard, I guess, that you have to have.
And that is fair because I feel like a lot of times our lessons lie in moving out of places that don't resonate with us. I feel like I've went through that enough to know that that's definitely what was being taught to me in those, or I was being given the opportunity to see like, yeah, you are not this. You need to move. You need to figure out, excuse me, how to do something, change something, shift something so that you can get out of a certain environment, or just, move the hell on if it's that simple. Not saying that to you, but just saying that I do think that's valid, that it's not always, oh, you are what you attract, or you are what you yada yada yada. Sometimes it's just about leveling up self-worth, and it's just a whole, orchestrated lesson so that you can move past that thing. It's not telling you that you are what you're dealing with. It's just an opportunity, literally, for your spirit, whatever you call it, to show you that you're worth more than that.
Right. It's almost like asking yourself, what do you deserve? You know? I don't know. But I'm listening, and sometimes you gotta like get out your comfort zone and know what you deserve in this lifetime, because life is gonna life. You do need to know what you deserve in this lifetime. So, you know.
You gotta know what you deserve because these men, they've been being trained to be master manipulators since they've been little boys. You feel me? They don't know how to even show the proper ways since from being a buck on how to even treat a young girl that they like. You feel me? We watching, what is that movie we had?
Ooh.
Alfalfa or some shit like that. You feel me? Just using that as an example. It's like, oh, he liked the girl, but he couldn't show it, to his homies because, they all like basically calling him a simp, like what happens today, and these kind of things. So it's just like, so then they gotta pick on her and they gotta do all this stuff and like and just make you think that they don't like you. And it's like at the end of the day, that's not that's it just don't make no sense. Like that's not how it's going. Like how it works. It's not going to work successfully if you're acting like you don't like me from the rip, or you're being confused to think that this is how you get a girl. Just act nonchalant, or just act like you don't care, or like whatever, or treat her mean, or talk to her harsh, or yeah, tell her to shut the fuck up and wait for her to get in line. Like the shit that y'all been raised on, it don't work, and we seen that it don't work, or we wouldn't be having these conversations. So it's like, how about we just listen to each other and again implement what each side is saying?
The beginning part just made me think of when a boy is teasing, like when we were younger, right? A boy is teasing you or making your life complete hell, making fun of you, whatever. And we could go to any auntie, to the school principal, to whoever, and what would they tell us? Oh, he probably just likes you.
Let me just
He's
like,
doing that because he likes you. He's doing that because he likes you, over and over and over and over again. But somehow, anytime we have these conversations about why we basically feel some type of way about like this disparity and this double standard between men and women, it's still somehow our fault in some way, shape, or form that men don't know how to act, or that men don't hold each other accountable, or that they're not put to a standard to treat us with respect regardless of the circumstances. I don't know. That'll never make sense to me, really.
yeah,
I definitely do think we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard, and conducting yourself in a certain way is just important, period, for an array of things. Did I even use that word right? I don't know. Just bear with me. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's healthy for us to be using that as a means to make men's behavior our fault.
I agree. And how it transitions, like basically to me, that same ideology is still used after they so-called grow up from being a boy to a man. So it's like it's still happening today, but under a different guise. And then this is where you get women having to suffer before they can even, you feel me, experience the healthy love. It's like, yeah, I do love you, but yeah, I'm gonna cheat on you, I'm gonna dog you out, I'm gonna do all this. Girl, you don't think I love you? This is love. This is what it look like. And it's like, no.
That part, and we have to spend those years learning, and it's not pretty while we're doing that. It's not, our self-worth is jacked up, we're confused, it's a whole lot of, and then we even get dogged for having the years where we weren't at our best in them times. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? At what point does the finger stop being pointed this way? I'm gonna stop running that point back. But man, that should be heavy on me, man. Like, how is it always pointed this way? It's just not making sense.
Yeah, the men never make sense to me, honestly. That chat, they tear the chat up and still don't be making sense. That's why I just
It's
sit
the
back and I
tearing the chat up
listen.
for me.
Girl, they be bored. They don't have nothing else to do, but I will say to one point though, ladies, do we think that the modern woman has any traditional values? Right? Because now we having a conversation about twerking, and most of y'all claim y'all don't even go outside, right? So, and I'm not saying like not outside like with you with the ladies and stuff like that, but most people are not clubbing, right? So, do we think the modern woman can be traditional? Can she have traditional ways and still be the said modern woman today? What y'all think about?
I think so. I think so. For my homegirls that I've, had, like, I'll just describe one, you know, she cooks her ass off. You get what I'm saying? She is a neat freak. Let me see, she's a hairdresser, so she always has her hair done and stuff, so she likes to dress and stuff. And she is like, now this, this is the part where, me and her, because, I'm married, but she's always, trying to please some man. You get what I'm saying? She always wanna, oh, I'm gonna go bring this by, and she's that kind of a lady. Now she is a modern woman. Like, she goes to the club, she wears booty shorts. You know what I mean? She'll go to the mall with booty shorts on with the kids, where I have to be like, oh goddamn, let me get the kids. We're gonna wait, walk back here, let her go ahead up there. I'm so sorry, baby. She's a modern woman, but at the same time, she does all of the other stuff that the men say that they want. Like, I would say that if a man would, find a young lady like her that, I don't know, maybe you say, hey, I like the way you look, but what about this dress? The one to go to your ankles. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe make a suggestion. Maybe gently suggest that woman to, I don't know, because you're going to be with her. You get what I'm saying? But it's not that these women are necessarily like bad women, but you know what I'm saying? They just have, they're just modern women. So you can't expect them to be dressed like it's 1874. It's hot outside, nigga. Her air don't work. Nigga, you gonna pay for the AC? I don't know. So just saying.
And that's funny you said that, because earlier, I don't know if it was in the chat somewhere, a man was like, you ladies have to stop romanticizing like the old days. Like, shit don't work like that no more. Okay, so flip that on this side. We're not gonna be the exact same, because things are not the exact same. But even while, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm a modern woman, but both my sides of my family are Southern. I have a lot of traditional values. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't think I'm just like my granny, because I don't have the circumstances that my granny had. None of us do.
I agree.
Like, shit, the housing cost alone, masculine man makes a woman masculine quicker than it would probably even 30 years
Man, cause
ago, 20 years ago.
don't they be hollering about 50-50 on the finance? They begging for our money.
Hello, that
Child,
part.
we the modern providers, ladies. We need to provide these men with a safe place to stay. We need to provide these men with a little bit of emotional support. We need to provide these men with dates, right? That's never let son say it.
They want to be
We need to
spoiled.
provide these men. Because well, ladies, I don't know if you heard today, men are the prize. Don't shoot the messenger. I was just told this. Men are the prize. So I guess ultimately we need to fall in line, right? Get our money up, right? And figure it out because for some reason it seemed like we just, I don't even know what we here for at this point, right? What do we think today? Like, let me pose a better question too. Is there, yeah, let's flip it from what I did on the ladies, right? Is there a modern man with traditional values today? Do you think that we're finding that along the spectrum?
Yeah.
But y'all let me know how you feel with it.
Ooh.
I think it can coexist. I think like we're living in different times, right? We are living in 2024 expecting to live like people lived in the 1960s and 1940s. And, we know very well, I won't go down with the history. We know very well that there was a point in time in our recent history that women weren't even allowed to have bank accounts. But let's be realistic. That's why these talking points are tired. We are modern women taking care of our modern bills, rent, mortgage, car note. Like, you should always know how to take care of yourself. You should always know how to care for self, right? And that, so you people think that there are women that are hyper independent and, oh, I don't need a man for anything and this and that, but everybody gets bunched up. Of course, when it's you alone, you're going to take care of yourself, as any man who's alone in this day and time should know how to provide and care for himself. And then you come together with somebody and you do it. But we were raised by traditional women, so yes, you know how to get in the kitchen and cook, you know how to coordinate your family, you know how to take care, and those things are instilled in certain people. Not everybody was raised in the same way, you know what I mean? So those things are instilled, but they're going to look different in today's day and time. You're not leaving your father's house at 15, 16, 17, 18 and getting married. Yeah, these women are going off to college and they're getting into a career before they get married. Or for some, they are getting married young and divorcing and doing it all over again after the first one didn't work out. It looks different now. So to compare it to the past, where we're not living in the past, we're living in modern times. So you're going to get modern with a trace of, you're going to get it with a trace of traditionalism if that's what they were raised in. So I think there are avenues where they coexist. And then you have people that are on the two opposite sides of the spectrum who are more so extremely traditional or more so extremely modern. Find your fit. It's simply that. Stop telling people what they need to do. And it's the craziest thing. It's these men that have no plan on providing for these women, telling them not to take care of themselves or
Right.
beating them down for doing what they're supposed to do. They're not asking anybody for anything. They're taking care of themselves. And if they have their children, doing that as well. But you're telling her she's wrong for doing that when you have no plan to help her in facilitating care for herself or her child or whatever. So come on, let's be realistic with these conversations, man. It's just regurgitated, repeated behavior. Think for yourselves for once.
I'll say this, when it comes to you talking about, do modern men have traditional values? Like, that is a good question, because I find from what I hear that no, they don't. Okay. Um, my grandfather got up early in the morning. My dad got up, they was getting up 4 o'clock in the morning. I could say for my husband, yes, he matches that model. You get what I'm saying? He gets up 4 o'clock in the morning. You get what I'm saying? But, from what I hear, like, listen, he got up that early in the morning to provide for his wife and for his family. You understand what I'm saying? And, he made sure that they didn't want for nothing. You get what I'm saying? So I'm comparing this to my granddad now. He made sure that, he was helping to build the house. Like, he literally, when he died, he was literally building, onto the house that my grandmother owned, in addition to her house himself, because he's actually able to do that. He's certified, you know what I'm saying? So he was doing that. And it's just saying that, to the last day, he was doing for his family and providing and caring and stuff like that. It was none of this selfish mentality that these men have now. Like, these men are very selfish. They're very effeminate with the way that they come at situations. And I can't even say that's effeminate because ladies, I don't think we are like that. They're like little boys, you know, in the mind, and it's a problem. And they have to really start to take pride in being a man, doing what a man does, being that provider. And as ladies, we have to hold them to that. You know what I'm saying? If they're not stepping up to that plate, then they have to be excused because like we can't be letting little boys waste our life away. So that's all I'm gonna say.
I've even heard a lot of complaints about their role. Oh, we have to protect y'all. Our life is on the line. Yada yada yada. And I mean, I can understand that to a certain extent, but I'm not hearing the women complain about putting their lives on the line when they get pregnant for y'all. I'm not hearing the same complaints. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Let me not make this. Let me bring it back to the question though. The modern is not showing in the traditional values, excuse me, are not being shown within those complaints.
Oh damn, I'm over here talking on mute, my bad y'all. But no, that's all they be doing really is essentially complaining. And it's so funny when they try to like kind of correlate it to us doing it. And I'm just thinking, well damn, I was kind of born like a woman. Um and unfortunately it does come with us a little bit, right? We complain a little bit here and there, tidbit. But the men, gosh. But do we think that inevitably the growth in the man today is that why we feel unprotected? Like it kind of ties into the title. Like, is it because we have? I know we're saying they can coexist, but do we think that one trumps the other? Because I mean, today they saying that they're not even gonna jump in if they walking past and see a woman beat on them. They just gonna walk past. They said they gonna mind their business. They don't know how she got in that situation. So, what are we? Does the traditional man have any protective like sense of protection? Is he out there going to protect that woman? That would probably be God. All these questions just jumping in my head. But y'all can always feel free to just, cut me off or, keep alluding to the topic. If you're in the goo, we can bring you up if you want to speak to it. But anybody else want to grab it, feel free. Also, that's kind of just a question that ran in my head.
Same question.
Yeah, I just think it's survival of the fittest. I can't speak for men. I'm so sorry, love. Were you trying to say something?
Go ahead, baby. I'm gonna go after you.
Okay, yeah. I just think it's survival of the fittest. I think because it's so hard out here for men to even provide financially, and they place, or a lot of them do, place their value in their finances. They feel like they can't provide because there's other ways that a man could provide, but I don't know if they were taught that growing up, in like being creative uh, with provisions, with providing, and that once they see that they don't provide financially, or that it's hard here financially, that it's more survival of the fittest, and they keep to themselves, or the emotional intelligence as well. Like a lot of men don't weren't brought up like being shown how to express themselves, or don't believe they should in their own way. And I think that because of that, they have all this like harbored up, pent up stuff. And I mean, it's Men's Mental Health Month right now. I know that it's like combined with Pride, which is weird, but like,
So
I just think that it's a struggle time. It really is a struggle time these days, and that's what's making men this way and don't protect.
I think black, excuse me. I think black men face a very interesting dichotomy where they're thrown in this, kind of liberal world where everything should be societally accepted to be equal, right? And they have to come to the table with that, and then they also are like expect because even with that, like you were saying about the mental health and all of that aspect, do they really have room and grace for that when society um and captures them in like this essence of they're the aggressors, you know what I'm saying? I feel like black men are made to be stoic in a sense, like they battle like this sense of stoicism, but also conformity to like, like tiptoe around liberals' agenda. Like, what do women want you to do? Like this. I think they're battling with being emasculated, but at the same time being expected to not have emotions, and it's kind of spiraling out of control because you're getting two different sides of the coin. You're getting ultra misogynistic, right? And then you're also getting ultra effeminate to men. I think that's what's coming out of this. So I think it's really interesting to see like where do they fare, right? Are they more traditional or conservative? And just the placing of like, you get what I'm saying? Like how to place themselves in society, especially as Black women when we partnered and been so invested into the liberal agenda. It's like we're telling them to tag along with us. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Those were just some thoughts.
I think sis had a good idea when she was talking about the men are, I mean, excuse me, I'm not as eloquent as you ladies. I'm educated, but I'm not eloquent. The brothers are broke. They're broke, five broke. We ain't got it. So I think they are, they saying this type of shit because they honestly can't stand up to, what their own standards are for themselves. So they're kind of faking the funk until they can get to that level. You get what I'm saying? They're kind of faking the funk. It's not that they don't want you ladies. They do want you ladies, but honestly, they can't do what you all need at this time. They have to get their shit together. And, these men probably not going to get their shit together until they're like in their, like, I'm thinking late 30s, it's going to be a minute for some of them. Now, some of them might have to, if they got their shit together now, snatch him up, ladies. Snatch him the hell up. But, it might take a minute. So just work on yourselves, work on your lives, you know what I'm saying? And don't waste your life. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, did I miss the question?
Oh,
Did
I must have missed it. Yeah, I just came from the
do
bathroom, so I probably
do
missed
do
it.
me too, man? Do modern women want traditional men? I think somebody asked me to ask that question. Did that question get asked?
Yeah. I kind of was circling around like, do we even think that there is a modern woman? I mean, the modern woman has traditional values, or you could spin it like that too. So feel free to answer that, Gigi, because that's a good question. I mean,
No,
some of the modern.
I'm asking. I'm not modern. I'm traditional.
I love that though because I feel like there isn't really, we're in a new age. Shit has been so transformed so much to the point where we're looking left, we're looking right at each other like, it's you're the one that's got niggas out here like this looking crazy, dressing like you do, bitch. You don't want no man, da 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 da. Women looking at niggas, dang, nigga can't just keep a job. Dang, he don't got a car. Dang, he ain't got a apartment. Shit, I don't want to deal with no nigga that ain't got nothing going for themselves. So we're like in this big back and forth, especially when it comes to the industry, especially when it comes to what we look up to, things like that. And of course, y'all already know how I be operating the way that I think when it comes to the systematic issues that we deal with as a community. But for the most part, I was in the matrix earlier going through the tunnel. I was really trying to hit on, I think if we had a more traditional approach in a modern way, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel that as though, not to say we can't go back, but there was a way that they was operating for a reason back then. But today, because we have women that are headstrong, women who do quote unquote think independently, they have something going for themselves, but they have to have somewhat of a traditional mindset so that man can then smoothly go into his role as a man, in a sense, if he's not already there. If he's already there, then 9 times out of 10 he's doing the picking and the choosing, and women are trying to do their best to get picked and chose. But for the most part, what I was going to say earlier is that it's like the television shows we used to look up to, like the different worlds or Family Matters for that sense, or the Cosby shows, shows like that gave us an inside look at what it looked like to have some type of traditional family as a, I don't know what these shows are, um showing today, because I don't watch a lot of TV like that when it comes to black families. I know Blackish, or there's some show with Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony whatchamacallit, but it's like looking at that, because sometimes that's all people have is that example, because they don't have that example around them or in their home. But so, like I said, just that's my short term answer, is just like maybe traditional mindset in a modern way, probably.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jazzy, because even in those shows that you described, none of those women were docile. You know, you had doctors and lawyers in partnership, you know, working towards the same goal. And essentially, that's what it is. Like, if you have to go into any situation where you feel like I got to doctor you up or fix you up to make you fit for me, you're already in the wrong situation. And that's what people are doing. They're going over here and awakening somebody, and it does allude to, you can't do it, so let me tell you why how you're doing it is wrong. Because how dare you know yourself? How dare you have value for yourself? How dare you have a standard? You're supposed to love me because I'm a black man and you're a black woman, and accept the BS because they told me struggle love is what it is. So when you have a standard for life, and those women, if even if TV was your only representation, those women, when they spoke to their husbands, they very much had a say in the household. So yeah, we're looking at the family aspect, but nobody looked into the intricacies of what existed. And it's like, yeah, you find your fit. There's some women that I've heard women say, you know what, I just want to be the kept housewife. I want to worry about at home and take care of the kids and have my husband. And there's people that match that lifestyle. So find your fit. It's literally that. Like, we're living in a different time. The average house is 700 and something $1,000, and the average pay rate is 34, 35,000. Make it make sense. Let's be realistic here. We're not living in times where a house was $5,000 and a car was eight, or a house was $8,000 and a car was four. Like, we're living in a different time now. You have to find your fit. But if you going around telling somebody they're too much or too small for you, you already know you're with the wrong person. Find the traditional woman, they're out here. Find the traditional man, they're out here. But if she's not for you, leave her alone for who she's for, and vice versa.
No, but they want to have fun though.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do get what y'all are saying in the aspect of, going to find them, but I sometimes we don't think, ladies, that they kind of be having a point. Like, it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, a little bit. I mean, I'm trying not to be on their side, y'all, but sometimes I could just look outside my little window and I'm like, damn, they might have a point. They might have a small point. So how do we as ladies bridge the gap between both parties that could be correct? That would probably be like my next question. Like, how do we get to that point to where we even can start to feel protected as a whole, right? Because again, we keep running to you know, trying to skew away from the accountability a little bit, right, ladies? But how do we bridge the gap so that as a whole we now feel protected instead of just individual? Like, oh, I depend on my brothers, I depend on my cousins. How do we bridge the gap if the men are saying that we're the ones that, ultimately is the reason that they're not protecting, right? So how do we bridge that? That would be my question.
I'm thinking my first thought is what Stacy said would solve a lot of that. I do understand the question did also, obviously say it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, but that's why you wait it out and you choose wisely. You see as wisely as you can. You choose wisely as you can by kind of doing what Stacy said. It's like as soon as that person is too much or too little for you, go the opposite direction. And at some point, you're going to find a needle in the haystack. And it might not even be as hard as we think it is sometimes, or most of the time for that matter. I personally.
Yeah, Jazz, that's a great ass question too, because a lot of the times I think it does start with us having a better bond with each other as women, being able to point each other in the right direction. So that accountability has to come from us going within ourselves, within our community, allowing ourselves to see where we need to heal, where we need to, I wouldn't say necessarily fix, but like you said, like take that accountability. It starting out with like Tam apologizing to Jay at the top of the beginning of the room, where, you know what I'm saying, seeing that meekness and that humbleness that she carried when she owned up to the fact that she just cursed this man out and didn't even know she was cursing him out, but just was like, damn. So, but even coming on in here and, you know, saying like, you know, this is why, because this, you know, and I had to apologize. And he, you know, accepted apology, but then also us seeing that, us hearing that as women, hearing another woman apologize to a man for her, the way she was acting towards him. Also, too, a lot of us as women, we look at each other as competition. So 9 times out of 10, we're not outdressing and overdressing for niggas. And yes, sometimes we are, but 9 times out of 10, you're doing this so you can look better than the next woman. If we killed a lot of the mindset that we've got indoctrinated with, I think we would be better off for those men. If, like me, I like to own up to the fact my mama ain't teach me how to cook like a good ass meal. And what we hear all the time, the good, you know, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So I know for a fact I'm gonna have to get in somebody's kitchen. I'm gonna come and have to go to Love, go to DD, Gigi, Jazz, Tam, somebody's house. You know what I'm saying, to learn how to. But I'm humble enough to say, oh dang, that's where I lack at. Ain't no nigga gonna rock with me like that because I ain't cooking. But I'm gonna be the one to be like, oh, I'll buy us food. What you talking about? Or I'm gonna just go ahead and be the one to make sure there's just food always at the house or some shit. But, you know, I just look at it as that, as us starting to come together in that aspect. Like, what you need help with, sis? What you need inspiration on, or something like that.
My bad. I be trying to not jump off the mic to talk too much over y'all. But no, I definitely can't agree with that. A lot of teaching is gonna have to be done within the ladies, and I think that that's why it's perfect that we even have these spaces so that we can have these conversations to start correcting the behavior. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if men understand, but them yelling about it, it's not getting the job done. Okay, they done marched all up and down the street, screamed to the top of their lungs, and not much has changed. Actually, it's going the opposite way. So maybe they need to stop talking, right? Because the ladies are doing pretty good at, you know, trying to take the accountability and actually shift it within the community and not necessarily listening to the man, you know, do all the extra stuff. So I do think that is something that we definitely got to start with. And it's so funny. I just be sitting here listening and watching them tear the chat up, and they, oh baby, you give them 1 minute, they get up here and don't do anything with it. Um, so again, ladies, we are, you know, still kicking it off. So again, if you're in a goo, I see you just hopping in and you like to speak to the topic, or just what you heard so far, feel free to raise your hand. Fellas, don't raise your hand because we not talking to you.
Jazz and Love and the ladies, I just want to say thank you for the space. I think these conversations are very important. Being that we're black women that desire black men, you know what I mean? Like holding each other accountable, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it starts to falter onto the level of where we're bashing each other, that's where the problem comes in. Where it's like, if you have no desire to get that woman out of the situation that you have a problem with, close your mouth to her situation. You know, if we're speaking generally, okay, about single moms, single dads, whatever the case is. But if you have no desire to change that woman's circumstance, why are you going into her home and telling her how to operate her household? You have no desire to be there. So it's just one of those things. I think, like Tammy was saying, I put it in the chat, bring back the village. Hold each other accountable, right? We're all out here doing stuff wrong. We're all out here figuring it out because a lot of people weren't taught and they're figuring it out as they go. And what I've realized is a lot of people know what they want verbally, but that those standards change based on who they're attracted to, or if their coochies or their penis jump for said person. Oh, you know, or they know how to say it, but on a superficial standard. I need a provider. When you ask a woman, what does a provider look like for you? Oh, a man that has money. Okay, there's a lot of men that have money, but just because he has money doesn't mean he's willing to provide for you. So know what you're looking for and know what your strength is. Else you're gonna be moved every time somebody comes and gives a standard that you don't align to. So if you know, like, all right, I know my strength is this or that, and I know that there's things that I need to work on and I'm open. No man, I've never said God, no matter where he comes from. When a man is ready and he's committed to a person, you don't have to tell a man to provide for her. You don't have to tell a man how to date, even if he's never seen it. I've seen where they just figure it out. They know to buy the flowers. They know to come and open the door. They know how to do all of that. Same with the woman. When she knows that she's found her equal, submission is not an issue. It's not an issue. When you see that there's a tug of war, you know that you're not equally yoked. It's not an equal fit. We need to stop going after what we don't want and figure out what we want, not because society tells us we should want it. Stop chasing the Instagram relationships. If you're okay with a 50-50 relationship, be okay with that and stand on that. If you're not, then stand on that. Don't do it because, oh, you think he might change once y'all get married. A marriage doesn't change anything. It just hyper focuses on all of the issues that exist there. A marriage doesn't fix it. A baby doesn't fix it. If you don't know what you want, all that is going to be a detrimental relationship, and it's going to continue the further of the breakdown of the black family. So it's just simply that, figure out what you want before you start screaming at the rooftop or getting on the mic and screaming at the top of your lungs breathless.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, I got so much out of everything that was said today and stuff like that. It was very fun. I love the space. So, shuts up.
Yes, yes, yes. And with that being said, ladies, I think we definitely had a good conversation today. I also want to go ahead and let you know that we are also looking for other lady mods to join the team and help us run this wonderful room as it decides to keep growing. We are already at 9,000 members strong. So we do want to keep growing the house, and we want to ask that you ladies, continue to show up, ping all your other lady friends that want to have the conversation, right? So feel free to click that link if you are interested, right? Fill that out, and then we will definitely get back to you so you can become a part of the Lady Mod Squad for this particular house that we dedicate solely to our women, right? So again, ladies, I want y'all to go ahead and make sure, again, if you have a pink ticket in the audience. I need you to turn that in, ladies. Turn it in. Just click that link and go ahead and follow the house. Fellas, too. I know y'all was in that chat. Turn it up. So go ahead and feel free to follow the house. That way, when we do have these conversations, you guys are able to join the rooms and speak with us. And maybe you, too, can be a minute man next time. Maybe so. So again, ladies, let's go ahead and make sure we're following each other also so that we can always, ping each other in case someone doesn't get the notification when we do open. And of course, we appreciate you guys so much for rocking out with us. So again, I'm going to leave that link up top for just a few minutes, but we are also going to transition into our new space where, of course, we can drag the conversation over, but unfortunately, our men will be allowed to speak this go around. I know, makes me sick too. I didn't ask for it, right?
Let me take
So
my Kevin Samuels pick off, Jazz, before they
yeah, I
curse
ain't
me
even gonna
out.
attack you, Miss Gigi.
Yeah, they gonna curse me out.
So we'll have everybody go ahead and click that link. And ladies, again, if you didn't grab that link at the moment and you want to fill it out, feel free to just tap me on the back end. I can go ahead and shoot that to you. And then, like I said, ladies, we want y'all to always rock out with us every day we open these spaces. So I'll also drop that link as we're funneling over to the new space. I will drop that link to that if you want to grab it real quick, to that mod form. That way we can go ahead and get you in. I did go ahead and drop that in the chat for you if you want to grab it quickly. Any of my ladies that do want to join that team also. And like I say, ladies, we are clicking that link up top, y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking out with us in the new Ladies of Darkness space that we are dedicating solely to our black women. So appreciate that, y'all. If you're in the goo, go ahead and click that link. Jason, Maria, Brenda, Green, Travo, Integrity, Jigsaw, Prince, Camille, King, Camille, another Camille. Morpheus, 3, Soul Warrior, Jay, Jermel, Bree, Ross. I'm gonna say Rothstein. That's what we're gonna go with. Peace, Kaiser. Go ahead and click that link for me, y'all. We're gonna shut this space down in about 15 to 30 seconds. And we don't want to lose y'all in that highway. So again, y'all go ahead and click that link. We are gonna shut this room down.
Y'all don't go there. You create these. You know this how in my PTR got a good daddy, right? Actor father was in her life, married to her mother, and
Who
this bitch
who's
still ain't got
creating
no
who?
sense. It is y'all's fault. Y'all don't know how to
Oh,
be
so
at
it's not
home
your
like
mama
this.
talking about go ahead and twerk, ladies, while you can. That's me.
Yeah.